Whoa. Before you guys dislike this video, I wanted to just let you guys know I did a Katrina Kaif inspired look. I am nothing compared to Katrina Kaif. She is absolutely perfect. I am far from being perfect. So this video, just so you guys know, has been highly requested for me to do. So if you guys would like to see how to achieve this nude look inspired by Katrina Kaif, please stay tuned. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, my name's Parveen, and I do videos in English, Hindi, and Punjabi. So make sure you guys check my channel out because I have a lot of other videos and a lot of other celebrity-inspired looks that I've also posted. And now let's get started. I'm going to start off by moisturizing my skin using one of my favorite moisturizers from the Body Shop. It's the Aloe Moisturizer, and it actually has an SPF in it. So I'm just going to apply this all over my face. I've actually tried a lot of the Body Shop moisturizers. The ones, they all come in like the same sort of packaging like this. The Aloe one and the Vitamin E happen to be my favorite. And then followed by the Vitamin C. The seaweed one kind of dries out my face. So this one is definitely my go-to moisturizer, whether it's summer or winter. Okay, so now that I have my moisturizer on my face, I'm going to use an elixir. So it's just a glowing, soothing elixir by Caudalie. I kind of feel like this hydrates my skin really nicely. So once I have my moisturizer on, I'm going to apply this elixir. I'm going to give it a little bit of a shake. It has like this like oil kind of in it too, so. So once I spray it on my face, I just kind of like to fan it a little bit to help it dry quicker. So now my face is ready for the next step. So for this look, I've decided I'm not going to wear any foundation. I'm just going to be concealing, color correcting, concealing, and just kind of bronzing my face a little bit, followed by some highlighter. So I'm going to keep this look very light. So I'm going to start with actually color correcting underneath my eyes using the NYX Dark Circle Color Corrector. And this one's in the shade Medium. And what I'm going to do for this, I don't usually use a brush, so I don't know if you guys can see. It's kind of like a light peachy orangey color. My under eyes are not super dark, but I do feel like, because I've had the lack of sleep lately, they are kind of darker, especially in here. I could use like a reddish colored lipstick, but I don't think I need that harsh of a color corrector today. So I'm just going to use my ring finger to apply it underneath my eyes and anywhere else that I have some like discoloration. So when I'm applying the color corrector underneath my eyes, I like to look up. The same goes for when I apply concealer, just so that I can get really close to the lash line. I might just apply a little bit to my eyelids too, because I'm not going to be wearing any foundation. So I'm just going to apply a little bit. I'm not going to be wearing any foundation or actually eyeshadow. So the eyeshadow that I'm going to use is just going to be like a matte nude color. So I'm just going to kind of color correct my eyelids too. I have a little bit of spotting, sunspots here, so I'm just going to apply a little bit here. I mean, I've been really lucky for my pregnancy that my skin hasn't gotten really bad, but I do find that some of the pigmentation on my skin that I already had has gotten a little bit darker, definitely gotten a little bit darker. So I'm just going to do the other eye now. I'm just going to apply a little bit to the outside of my lips as well. I find that there's sometimes some hyperpigmentation there too. And then also a little bit underneath my nose and around my nose. If you're looking for something that is really like heavy and like thick, this is definitely not the product. It actually blends really nicely with your fingers. So if you're looking for like a light color corrector, this one's definitely a really good one. Okay, so now that I've color corrected all the areas where I found I had some hyperpigmentation or darkness, I'm going to follow that by applying some concealer. And I'm using the NARS concealer in the color Custard. So I'm just applying this product underneath my eyes. So I'm going to apply it in a triangle. I'm going to apply it around my mouth, a little bit on my chin, the bridge of my nose, and a little bit on my forehead. So when it comes time to actually highlighting and concealing, I'm going to call this the 2-in-1, highlight and conceal. I like to start off with like less product. I find that if you put less product, it's easier to blend, and then you can always add extra after. I find that even though with the Beauty Blender it's really easy to blend, it just sometimes gets a little too cakey, and that's not the look I'm going for. I usually don't do any sort of eyeshadow or mascara underneath my eyes because you can't get as close otherwise. So I definitely do this first and before applying any like mascara or eyeshadow underneath the eyes. Okay, so now I have my highlight and concealer on. So I'm just going to blend it out using my wet Beauty Blender. Some people like to use a brush, but I definitely think that when I'm blending, I like to use this Beauty Blender. For contour, I like to use a brush, but for blending my highlight and concealer, I like to use the Beauty Blender. I definitely think that the real Beauty Blender is the way to go. It's worth the money, definitely. And no, this is not sponsored. I bought mine from Sephora. So the same thing goes for when I'm blending out my highlight and contour. I just kind of look up so that I get close to my under eye. Then I just kind of go over my eye. So now I'm just going to set the areas that I concealed with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. And here I'm going to use the shade Banana, the top one here. And I just kind of use like a fluffy brush like this. It's really soft. I'm just going to do it all around my eyes and everywhere else that I concealed. Again, I'm just looking up when I'm applying this. All around my eye. So for this look, I'm actually not going to be contouring with a cream, but I am going to bronze up my face a little bit because Katrina's face is actually kind of like long as well. So I'm just going to kind of add a little bit of some bronzer around my cheeks, a little bit under my chin, and kind of like thin out my nose a little bit. I obviously do not look anything like her. She's like drop dead gorgeous, but I'm going to try my best to kind of bronze up my face a little bit for you guys. Now for my nose, I'm going to use a thinner brush. So I'm going to use a brush like this. I'm just going to blend it out with the brush a little bit and then use my fingers after. So before I do anything else, I'm going to do my eyebrows. I'm going to fill them in a little bit with the NYX Tame and Frame Brow Pomade. This is in the shade Espresso. And I'm just using one of these dual-ended brushes. It has a spoolie and then the brush on the end. I recently actually thinned my eyebrows out a little bit. I just felt like they were really overpowering on my face. So they don't need that much filling, but I'll still show you guys what my routine is for my eyebrows. Just usually apply the product to the brush, and then I usually fill in the top arch and then a little bit in the front here. And then I just take the spoolie and kind of brush them out. I hate filling in my left eyebrow. It's just so annoying. The angle of it. I feel like both my eyebrows have a mind of their own. They kind of grow in like different directions. So for my eyes, I decided I'm going to go very simple. I'm just going to apply some eyeliner as well as mascara. But before I do that, I'm going to use the Modern Renaissance palette and just kind of apply a little bit of this Buon Fresco, this matte shade here. Just a very little bit. I'm just going to use my fingers. So I literally just took my finger and just did a swipe over both of my eyelids. So now they're ready for my eyeliner and mascara. So today, typically I like to use liquid eyeliner, but today I'm going to use my Smashbox Always Sharp Waterproof Kohl Eyeliner. It's a really long name, I know. And I'm just going to apply it really close to the lash line on the top, and then also just a little bit on the outer corner. And I'll follow it with my mascara. Then I'm just going to, so now that I've done the top of my eyelid, I'm just going to do a little bit in the outer corner. So I'm not doing a wing or anything, just applying a little bit on the outer corner. Just kind of leaving it like that. Typically I like to use gel or liquid eyeliner. It's just easier for me to put on. I've had a lot of questions from a lot of my followers that, you know, how can you do your eyeliner so quickly? You know what, it takes a lot of practice and it takes a lot of patience. Eyeliner is one of those things you want to start very slow and then slowly build it up. much like an eyeshadow or like a crease, when you want to make the colors really intense, you got to start off slow. So it's going to be like probably the most time consuming part. That's what I find. But if you start off slow, you won't make as many mistakes, so it'll be quicker in the long run. So just kind of take your time and work to see what works for you in terms of like thickness of eyeliner. Because I find that some people go like really crazy with their eyeliner and they don't really need it. And then some people just put like a very thin line close to the lash line. They could probably use a little bit more. But so like I said, for this look, I'm not using a heavy eyeliner. I'm just applying a very thin amount and then a little bit on the outer corner. So for this look, I'm not applying any falsies. I'm just going to be applying 2 different mascaras. The first one I'm going to use is one of my favorites, the Maybelline Lash Sensational Full Fan Effect. Then I'm going to follow it by using the Lancome Grandiose Mascara. And this one has like a really interesting tip. I'm not like a huge fan, like they kind of try to make it like ergonomic, but I don't see the point. But the brush and the actual product is really good. So I'm going to start off with this one. The reason why I decided to use 2 different mascaras is because this one actually does do the job, but I find that different mascaras and their brushes do different things for my eyelashes. So definitely this one kind of combs them out, and then the Lancome one kind of gives it that fullness. Everything I do on this side is really annoying because it's like the opposite way. So now I'm just applying to my bottom lashes. I just kind of touch them. I don't even really, I just kind of touch my eyelashes. I don't really like spread it. So as I mentioned before, Katrina's look is very dewy and kind of has like that highlighted look to it. So I'm going to apply my highlighter before I apply my blush. So the 2 highlighters that I'm going to use today are the Tarte Stunner. It looks like that. And then one of my favorites is by the Buon Cosmetics, the Mary Luminizer. I usually use like a big fan brush, but today I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to start with Stunner. This is like my base. Applying it to the apples of my cheeks. To my nose, sorry, bridge of my nose. A little bit on my chin. Just going to go over again. And then now I'm going to follow it up with Mary Luminizer. I'm actually going to apply this to underneath my eyebrow using my fingers. And now I'm going to put my blush on. It's by Tarte as well. It's Party or Parte. Just applying this to the apples of my cheeks. Now for my lips, I'm going to go really nude because usually all of Katrina's looks are very simple. So I'm going to actually outline my lips using this Primark lip liner. It's in the shade, oh god, I can't find it. Okay, I don't know, it's just like pink shade. Anyways, it's pink. So I'm going to apply that to my lips. I'm actually going to overline my lips just a little bit because she has really full lips. It's actually really weird for me because I never ever overline my lips like that. So I'm going to follow it by using the shade Kinda Sexy by MAC. It's kind of like a peachy pink color. And I noticed she actually usually wears like a glossier look on her lips. So I'm using the Lorac Alter Ego and it's in the shade Stunner.